Hey guys, this is Efti with Closeo. Let's talk about the infamous sales phone script, right? How do you create and craft a successful phone script for your outbound sales and outbound calling? Well, let's first go through the benefits of having a phone script. I know that lots of people out there are afraid of creating a phone script. They're like, sales scripts are stupid, they're dumb, they make me look like a robot. I don't want to read things from a piece of paper or look at my screen. I want to be creative, I want to be, a genius, I want to be interacting with a person on the other phone of the line. I don't need a script. I can do calls successfully without any structure or design. Well, that's only partially true. Here's the downsides of not having a script in your day-to-day life. I mean, number one, when you don't have a script, you're probably lacking a structure. When you're lacking a structure, you're lacking design. And with that process, what does that mean? Why is that a bad thing? Well, it's probably a bad thing because you don't really know what you're doing. You might even have success once in a while, but if you don't know why you're successful, if you don't have a structure, a design, some level of clarity and purpose to what you're doing and knowing exactly why do I do it, and this in step one, this in step two, this in step three, a lot of it will be based on your intuition, and that's only going to work if you're a real sales pro. And even if you're a real sales pro, that intuition, that creativity will heavily depend on your daily performance. Some days you're going to have a good day, some days you're going to have a bad day. In good days, you might be a creative genius on the phone, and in bad days, you're going to be horrible. You want to maintain a certain level of professionalism in every single call. It doesn't matter what your mood is, doesn't matter what's happening in the world. You want to be at least at a certain really high level and high standard of performance in every single call, and a phone script is going to help you keep that level and that standard even in days when you're not feeling as great, not as creative, not as imaginative on the phone. The other thing it's going to allow you to do is actually going to allow you to train other people and replicate success within the organization, right? You don't want a group full of individual geniuses that have hit or missed days. You want a focused unit that works together as a team, and where when somebody discovers something that works or improves something in the overall structure that works, that knowledge can be transferred throughout the entire sales team and sales force to raise everybody else's game. This is like competitive and performance-based sports. This is like being part of a elite army team. This is not, being a beautiful little artist that writes music or paints pictures and needs creative juices and all the universal forces to align to be able to perform. As a sales team, you have to train really hard, you have to have structure, you have to have design and process in place to be able to replicate success and perform at a certain professional high standard level every single day. So having a sales script doesn't mean that you have to read from it all day long, doesn't mean that you have to become a robot. You can use your own language, you can go off the script a little bit, but you still use the basic structure of the script. And that's actually giving you clarity, it gives you guidance, and allows you and the prospect on the phone to go from one step to the next, and improve a model that actually delivers success and produces positive outcomes. So let's look at a basic structure of creating a cold calling script for your phone sales. Number one, the very first thing you have to do is you have to raise curiosity. You have to answer the question, who the hell is this on the other side of the phone, and why should I listen for one more sentence, right? Think about yourself. When you pick up the phone and there's a voice you don't recognize, what are the first thoughts that are going to your mind? You're thinking, who the hell is this, and why should I care, and how can I get off this call, right? That's the natural core questions anybody will have that isn't prepared to get a call from you. You need to be prepared to answer these questions, explicitly or implicitly in the way that you communicate and the way you script your call. So the first thing you have to do is you have to raise a curiosity, answer the question, who is this, but at the same time, answer the question, why should I keep caring? Why should I keep listening? Once you've done that, you have to give them some context. You have to give them your elevator pitch, the one sentence that explains what is this all about. You can't just hide from that fact, and you don't have, an hour to explain it. You have one sentence. Once you've told me who you are and why I should keep listening for one more sentence, now you have to give me that sentence. What is it that you do? What is this all about? You have to be able to effectively answer that in a single sentence in an elevator pitch. Now, once you've done that, you need to ask me for permission to continue. And you could mix this up. Some people like to start with permission and then they raise curiosity and give context. Others will like to do it in a different sequence. First curiosity, then context, and then, hey, do I have your permission to continue, right? You want them and you want to empower them to say if they don't want to keep talking to you, to say if they think this is not interesting. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to respond when they do that, but you need to give them permission to tell you what they're thinking and to ask for permission to continue. And then once you continue, now you're in the qualifying phase of the call. Now you're in the phase of actually understanding them better, asking detailed questions to explore, is our service, our product, the thing that I'm selling, is this even a good fit for them? Should they care? Should they buy? Is this really truly going to make their life better, going to deliver success to their business? So here's where you qualify, where you ask questions, where you understand who they are, if they fit into your perfect customer profile, if their needs fit into your solution, and what the universe and the context is in which their needs and their wants is living in. So you really truly try to get at a deep level of understanding for them before you even attempt to sell them anything, right? At the beginning, you just sell them on why they should keep listening to you and what you're doing, and if you have permission to continue. Now the roles reverse and you actually try to explore and discover, is this a good fit? Should we even work together? And you try to get to that conclusion. And once you've done that, ask all your questions and actually explored who they are and if you should continue with it, then you go for the test close. In some cases you can go for the close right away. In other cases, more complex cases, you're not closing them on buying the product immediately. You might close them on a second meeting, on a demo, on a trial, on whatever, an appointment in person, whatever it is that you want to do. But you go for the close and you set up the next steps. All right, let's do a quick test. Actually, I'll share with you the structure that we used when we started a business called Elastic Sales, doing outsourced sales services to startups. We were cold calling companies, and that's how we got started, got our first 7 customers within 2 weeks, and we're off to the races with the new business. And here's the basic structure that we used, all right? When we were calling people, I would say, hey, this is Stelly. I'm calling companies in the area to see if there might be a good fit for a beta program that we're running. That was the first sentence of raising curiosity and making them think, well, maybe I should listen for one more sentence. And let's actually go into detail and analyze that first sentence. Well, hi, my name is, all right, that's pretty basic. I'm calling companies in the area. That implies I'm probably also local. Local means more like you, more familiar, somebody that might know you better or you might know better. Something that people feel usually more comfortable with, right? So, hey, I'm calling companies in the area to see if there might be a good fit. A good fit, not if I can sell you or if you want to buy, but if this is a good fit for both parties for a beta program that we're running. A beta program is, heavy insider lingo for startups. So the kind of companies we were calling probably had beta programs that they were trying to get customers for. So here, again, a way for me to build rapport, to show that this is not a sales call. This is very much a business just like yours, trying to see if this might be something we should work together on, right? That was the very first sentence. People would usually respond to this with yeah, right? Nah, tell me a little bit more, but I'm already trying to put up my defenses and thinking about actually hanging up. So the next sentence was, what we do in a sentence is we offer startups with a sales team on demand. And here, very important, I would preface the elevator pitch with telling them this is only going to take 1 sentence, right? And I do that because I want to calm them down, bring down their defenses, and have them actually listen to me. Not just start babbling on what, we have a sales team on demand for startups and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 but the person's not even listening to you, dude. The person's thinking, oh my God, I'm in a sales call. This is going to take forever. Fuck. And I have this important appointment. How do I get rid of this person? Right? We've all been in these shoes, in these situations ourselves. So in order to kind of proactively address that concern, I tell them what we do in a sentence is I tell them, listen, this is only going to take a sentence. You better just listen and see what happens next. We offer sales team on demand to startups. Does that in general sound interesting to you? Here's the question, basically asking for permission to continue the conversation, giving them a chance to air their thoughts and give feedback. At that point, to be honest, it didn't really matter if they said no, yes, or maybe. They said no. I said, oh, interesting. What's your sales process like? They said maybe. I said, oh, interesting. What's your sales process like? And when they said no, I said, oh. Or they said yes. I said, whoa. Awesome. What's your sales process like? Now, it doesn't mean that I never cared if they were interested or not. I didn't just care right at that moment because I knew it was too early both for them and for us to actually make a judgment call if this is a good fit or not. But I still wanted them to verbalize their thoughts because if they thought this is not for us and I kept on talking, there would be a mismatch. Communication wouldn't be able to really happen, and they wouldn't listen to me. I needed them to actually verbalize what they thought. Yes, no, maybe, whatever it was, I hate you. It didn't really matter to me. They just needed to get it out of their system so there was kind of air and space and capacity for me to actually communicate to them and for them to actually take that communication. Just by asking them what the sales process was like, 9 out of 10 times we got into a pretty engaged conversation, and I was able to actually ask more questions, follow up with those questions, and go into the qualifying part. And we asked, about their sales process, about their buying cycle, how they got leads, what the customer lifetime value was. Questions that were relevant to us, not questions that are relevant to everybody, but just to us. And after that, after we actually explored if they were a good fit or not, that's when we went for the test close. And for us, it was all about testing whether they're ready to get started with something like this within the next month. Were they okay with just getting one salesperson? Were they okay with a basic pricing plan? And what would be the buying process for them? How many people would be actually included in the buying process? How complex would the sales be? And once we got the answers to all these questions, then we actually scheduled the next step and went for it. And that, we started with doing cold calls on a Tuesday morning within 2 weeks with 7 companies that wanted to pay us and get started with a brand new business that we had. So this script definitely worked for us. We're gonna link up to that script. You're gonna get access to the script. You can copy and paste it and customize it for your business and use it to be more successful with cold calling by using a professional, thought out, and well-designed sales script. I wish you good luck with it. Go out, hustle, and get them.